Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. It's Thorzax here, and if I'm a little rummy, it's because I just got home. But I wanted to do a product review for you guys. I was recently talking with Loads of Bacon, and one of the quests that I've been on is to get a hollow base bullet mold for my 38 Special in the wad cutter design. And I've been really frustrated with NOE because NOE, I've called them half a dozen times. I've talked to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll crank one out, as soon as we can. Probably about 6 weeks, da 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 da." And that's been going on forever. So I pretty much just kind of hit a brick wall there. Anyway, I was discussing my frustration with Loads of Bacon, and he told me, he says, "Why don't you go over to MP Molds and take a look at what they've got?" Now, M&P bullet molds are made in Eastern Europe. And, I'd like to buy, products made in the USA just like anybody else. But when you're dealing with companies that, don't put out the product that they advertise, and then they tell you, well, we're in a production run, and as soon as we're done with that, then we're going to go ahead and set up our machine to do it, and you just, you're forced to do what you got to do. So anyway, I went to their site, and the first thing that I seen, it was on sale, was the H&G number 50, and so I went ahead and ordered one. And I jumped on it, and I thought at first I was buying one that was made out of aluminum, but it turned out that I bought one that was made out of brass. I'll tell you what, this is a really nice mold. This is a really nice mold. The craftsmanship, just even the locating pins, and I was totally blown away. Came in a package like that. I can't pronounce it, but it's somewhere over there. I believe in the Czech Republic is where they're made. But anyway, let's try to stay on the ball. The way that the molds fit together, they have a slight break of light when you look through there, and that's exactly what you want. You want a little bit, you can just barely see, a slight break of light when you turn them. And what that means is that you get proper venting between the two. And it's there. This is a really high quality mold. Here's the deal. Shipped to my door, brass. Okay, brass mold, $106. You can't beat that. Plain and simple. You can't beat that. I've paid as much as $170 for a 4-cavity Seiko mold before. And these are excellent molds. Another real good, real surprising thing was that, excuse me, came with 3 different bases. You have your flat base, okay? You have your hollow base, and then you have this rounded base, sort of like a dome. Now this is going to be interesting to cast because I've never fired anything that had this little dome shape to it. So we're kind of venturing into an area here that this is going to be interesting. The way you basically assemble it, okay, is that you take the mold and you insert you insert the base that you want, and then when you pour, you're pouring from the top. This forms the base, and when you open the mold up, all you got to do is just press on these little pins that protrude from the side. You press on these pins and it pushes it away from the mold, and then you shake it upside down, to get it to fall off. Now there's little tricks to these bases. Is one of them is that you take a pencil and you take just plain old pencil carbon lead, and you know go around that a few times, and it helps it come off of there if you start experiencing sticking with it. Also, another thing too, I've already done it to this mold. What you want to do is you take a hot plate and you turn it up to about 400 degrees. You set this on there, okay, and you turn it up to 400 degrees, and then you let it sit there for about 20 minutes. You get it nice and hot, and then you turn it off. You turn your hot plate off, and then you let it cool. And what happens is that the brass will change color. When I first got this brass mold, it was very shiny. I mean, it was like brand new. And as you can see, the tone of the metal has changed now. And what that is that's sort of like a carbonizing, or I looked it up on the internet what they actually call it, and I can't pronounce it, but what it does is it builds up a barrier between the mold and the alloy. So you have to condition the mold before you use it. That's strongly recommended. Other than that, there's some assembly required. I mean, you have to take and put these little pins into the bases, and they just screw in, by finger, and then they give you the proper Allen wrench, so you can go ahead and, tighten them up. Another thing that's really nice about the MP mold, if you have a model 45, a 450, or 4500 Lyman lubricizer, it comes with a top punch. Also the RCBS number 2. It comes with the top punch for the mold. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of casting with this as soon as I can get off my butt and find some time to start casting, because I really want to start down this road and see if I can get something that will outshoot what I can buy that's store-bought. One of the unfortunate things about wad cutters used to be really cheap. You used to be able to just buy them and buy bulk, and through time now, I guess because the sport has kind of gotten down to a particular group of people, and it's not quite as popular anymore to use wad cutters. They've went up in price quite a bit. The hollow base wad cutters are expensive. So this will save me some money there. I'm going to have to play around with alloying because you don't want to make these too hard. I mean, they have to expand and they have to fill the lands and grooves and obturate properly in order to shoot them and get the best accuracy out of them. Also, I'm also going to have to play around with my Star lubricizer because of the hollow base, and feeding them through the lubricizer is going to be kind of an experience I'm going to have to develop a knack for as well, because the way that the lubricizer works is that you put a bullet in, you press it down, that one gets lubricated, then you take another bullet and put it on top, and then you press it down, and what the second bullet does is it pushes the other bullet out through the bottom. Okay, and you have to feed these bullets in upside down. Now I'm not going to be able to feed them in upside down because of the hollow base. I don't want to distort the hollow base. So what I'm going to have to do is feed them in nose first. Upside down, right side up, and feed them down through that way. So that's a bridge that I'm going to have to cross later, or I might shoot them just as cast, just use rooster jacket or floor wax, or a combination of the both. So there we go. MP Molds. Take a look at their website. They've got a whole bunch of different types of molds available. I don't know what's going on over there in NOE. It seems funny, they make other bullet molds. I mean, I've seen other bullet molds that are recent, additions to what they make over there, and it's funny that they're not making this, making something like this, like the Henley and Gibbs. number 50 right now. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. I guess they're just like any other company. They're gonna produce what sells, and if there's just a small market for a certain bullet mold or whatever, they might have 2 or 3 of them around, but they're not going to have a whole bin full of them. And I understand that. I mean, you can end up with a lot of inventory that nobody wants, or just a particular group of people want this particular thing. And so you're trying to balance your business with your inventory, and you don't want to use up material that you have to buy for stuff that's just going to sit around your warehouse. And I understand how that works. So it's not really a put down, more or less, to NOE. They make good stuff. Arsenal Molds, they make good stuff too. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but I'll tell you what, I am really impressed with the price and the quality of these MP molds. Take a look at what they got over there. I'm sure that you'll be happy with anything that you buy from them. I'm going to have to see how this shoots first before I make this final decision on whether or not this was a good purchase or a bad purchase, but you guys will be along for the ride. So anyway, this is Thor's Axe. It's time for me to go ahead and hit the rack. I'm tired. I've been up all night doing my service for God and country. Anyway, until the next video, we'll catch you later.